All Bibles are translated out of the original tongues, which was written in the Ethiopian language called Ge'ez around the 4th century Common Era. And it told us to look forward to the coming of Christ. In other words, Christ was not here 2,000 years ago, as the KJV version attempts to say. Christ is supposed to be here in the end of times. But all throughout time and throughout all generations, it's supposed to be God. For God alone is Alpha and Omega. So during time, he will come through at different periods. He will look like a child, like a baby, look like any other man. For God made man in his likeness. So he will look just like any other man, come through as a baby. And God has many names. And one of his names is METHUSELAH. He also goes by Selah. Just like when you check out in the Psalms, many Psalms mention Selah. That's just another name for God. So instead of saying Amen, which the KJV version added in, say Selah at the end of your prayer. Because Amen means Amun Ra or Amun Jupiter. Amen means Baal or Nimrod. Amen is just another name for the devil. So in future reference, when you say your prayers, end it with Selah. And considering Ephraim is the head of all the tribes, when God comes back, he will come through the tribe of Ephraim. So the question is, how is it possible for him to do it?
Holy, holy is Johnny. So great, great is Johnny. Highly, highly is Johnny. My soul is so amazed. When I look upon creation, it's so wonderful. I have to ask a question. I have to do that. The answer is
The question is, how is it possible for God to come back without people recognizing? You see, in July 23rd, 1892, Haile Selassie came back. He has been here throughout all generations. So let's see how is it possible. And that means Ras Makonnen has to be from the tribe of Ephraim. Because that's when God comes back, he comes through the head tribe. So anyway, let's read the story of Enoch. So Enoch has to be from the tribe of Ephraim also. And Enoch lived on for 65 years. Then he became father to Methuselah. And after his father and Methuselah, Enoch went on walking with the true God, 300 years. Meanwhile, while he became father to sons and daughters, so all the days of Enoch amounted to 365 years. And Enoch kept walking with the true God. Then he was no more, for God took him. As you could clearly see, Enoch didn't start walking with God until Methuselah was born. In other words, he appeared as the father of Methuselah, but in reality, Methuselah was God himself. Let's read the same verse, Genesis 5, verse 21 in a different Bible. And Enoch lived 60 and 5 years and begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God after he begat Methuselah 300 years. So you notice he was 65 when he met him, or when Methuselah was born. Then he died at 365. But he walked with God. Let's read it. And Enoch walked with God after he begot Methuselah 300 years. And he also begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And he was not, for God took him. So in other words, Methuselah is just another name for Haile Selassie. And that's how Haile Selassie could come through all generations. For God alone is Alpha and Omega. Jano.